NANI?!
Hello there, as the title says, I'm going to show you some route creation. We have the choice between road, dirt, or off-road for this first video. This is why I will do a water track. Why would I do a water track, you will ask? Because as cars actively trying to kill you exist, I do track that actively try to kill your car, and potentially you. And also my answer is why not? It is quite fun and tricky, which I find great for racing. Well, it brings back old memories too. Now that I have convinced you that racing in water is valid, let's move on the track itself. Since we can't start where we want, I chose the Ambleside Sprint, which is fairly close enough to the river. I could have chose the Ambleside Scramble, but we would skip some part of the river, and that is not acceptable. So from here we want to access the river, and the town makes it quite difficult to find a way to the river. Fortunately, we can go through a house, which is maybe your house. We now just have to set a few more checkpoints. Let's place them alongside of the river. Now that we have entered the river, this is where the true part begins. You may have noticed that I'm trying to take clean racing lines. That is because the AI will follow this line in the race. The objective here is not simply to create tracks, but also to keep some challenge against the AI, because only the AI will want to race against you in water anyway. An important part in creating route is to test your track progressively. In doing so, you will be able to correct the trajectory for the AI, or notice some weak spot in your checkpoint, as being able to cut between checkpoint, and we don't want that. The test worked fine. We can now continue. We want to follow the river, which is pretty easy, but we don't want people to try getting off the river between checkpoint to cut, so we have to make checkpoints close from each other. Since I'm taking way too much time on placing checkpoints, I'm going to spare you that and show you the important passage of the route creation. In this passage, you have the choice between staying in water or going straight. You will probably want to take straight, since it means getting more grip, but it's jumpy. That means you can end up doing a barrel roll. If this happens, you may die. This is why you should install a roll cage in your car. This way only your car will die. Just a bit ahead, the river goes deeper, causing your car to slow down. Though it is not much of a problem if you are driving a SUV, but you will not want to use a SUV. I will explain why later. Anyway, in this section, the water level alternate. You will need to shift gears at the right time to keep the best speed. Don't worry, your car is not going to drown. For some reason all cars are waterproof, or almost. Next we are crossing under a bridge, and this is a reason I don't recommend using a SUV. You won't be able to go through. Otherwise you would probably crash and die with your car. As you don't have many space to pass under the bridge, you should be careful. You will note that your car obviously does not have a lot of grip in the water. Even if your speed isn't high, you will probably need to brake more than usually when making turns. After this, you will enter a pretty long section where the water level isn't high. However, the path is filled with more or less rocks. Once again, be careful, especially in this place. The rocks are lined up for the road you are crossing. I recommend following my line to avoid those rocks. Finally, the last section goes deeper and contain a few turns and some large straight lines, leading you to the finish line, the lake. Unfortunately, it seems that I have messed up a bit. The flower pots did not agree to the race and will try to kill you and your opponents. You can now find my track, the Ambleside River, at IZMIZM 5300. I will probably add a few other blueprints with different settings, since we can't edit them as we wish. We have made it through the whole track. Now I'm going to show you the result of the track through my own personal and non-professional driving. Thanks for watching.